Well, away from the top stories, let's get you scattered for the weekend, if you may, and talking about weddings, which is a big one. Now, your wedding is one of the best days of your life, as they say, and so people may feel pressure to plan an elaborate celebration now.
But there's no need to go into debt. In fact, if you do not have 20,000 naira to spend on your wedding, don't worry. The good news is that you can still have a stylish, fun, and memorable wedding while saving money at the same time.
Right then, our guest is Stephanie ODILI. She is the author of the book Lean Wedding, and she will be talking to us about how to plan and execute that wedding on a, well, I want to call it lean budget, whatever budget you may have, as it speaks. Good morning, Stephanie ODILI. Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Central.
Good morning, Alyssa. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. All right, so let's go right into it. Now, figuring out the wedding budget can be quite confusing, and it can also be challenging for some people because you have a whole lot to put together and collate on this list. But really, why is this so?
I think it's because of the culture we have in Africa and in Nigeria too. There's a need per se to go out of your way to do something big because the wedding day is almost as glamorous as your birthday most of the time. So there's pressure from your friends, there's pressure from your parents as well, who most times their entire dream of your adult life begins on your wedding day. So I think there's already that pressure, and it just keeps going on and on for generations to come, and it shouldn't be.
All right, Stephanie. Now, why do you think people oftentimes overshoot their budget when planning their weddings?
I think it's because of the FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. So probably they wanted to do just something small, 100 people, but then they're thinking, oh, what about my friend, this person, they would feel bad, or your parents want 100 ID cards each, one of those things. And over time, I've seen cases where wedding guest lists were expanded just a week before the wedding. So when those kind of things happen, it comes from a place of not wanting to miss out, or not wanting people to not be there, not wanting to deal with the drama that comes from having to explain why A or B wasn't at your wedding. So, and might I add, most people are also fond of inviting uninvited guests to other people's weddings. So that's also something that increases and makes people go over than what they expected.
Well, I think it's an African thing, because if I'm going for a wedding, I tend not to go alone. I tend to have one or two people, I mean, I will be there for the party rise.
You're one of them.
I'm one of them. All right, so Stephanie, I mean, you wrote a book called Lean Wedding. Tell us about the book and why you decided to put a book, especially with such a title.
Okay, so the Lean Wedding, how to get married with as low as 100K, was created, like I said, for people who are strong-willed in mind, crazy in love, and frugal with money, but yet we're very ready to spend the rest of their lives together. So it made no sense, because I had a lean wedding myself. I know a friend of mine who did so too. So I was wondering, why isn't the majority of people doing this? Why can't we create something that helps other people see that they can actually have 100K to 500K and they can achieve a wedding that would live on and they just have a nice time? And I chose that name because a while ago, actually last year in the middle of the pandemic, my husband made me read this book called The Lean Startup. So being inspired from that, I saw that it was different from how most startups usually are, and lessons to be learned. And then when it was time to title the book, I just couldn't think of any other better explanation to it than to have not the usual fat wedding, but a lean one. And that was how I got the name.
All right, that's an interesting, term for a book, Steph. And I'm really curious to ask now, based on your, what you've put out, what you've researched, what you put in the, on the book, what really defines a lean wedding? Is it the 100K? Is it the money of the spend, or the guest list? What really defines a lean wedding? How can we say this is now a lean wedding? What kind of features of a lean wedding?
Just so I don't give out all the secrets of the book, what I would say are key definite things to having a lean wedding: the guest list.
Oh.
If you're planning on having 500 guests, I don't know, the lean wedding isn't for you. The guest list, as well as the income of the parties involved. So I believe, and what I wrote in the book is you have to be of a certain income to get a lean wedding. I mean, if you have a lot of money, I don't see a reason why you're trying to be frugal. It's for people who, I mean, I don't have 3 million to spend, but I do want to get married. I want to have a nice house. I don't want to tie the money down to one event. So the lean wedding must first be ready to cut the size of your guests, and you must be determined on the combined income of the couple involved.
Wow. All right. I like the packaging of that. I mean, for weddings and budget, it's always the woman, the bride. I mean, I need to have this glamorous wedding. I need to
really.
Yes, I mean, it's the one day
more like
in my
the
life.
bride's parents and the groom's parents, because this is Africa.
Exactly. I think I would agree with Olisa there. I think it's mostly the parents who just, like my parents actually wanted to do the same thing. So it's just natural for them to want to, my baby girl's day, we have to do this, we have to do that. And like I said, the lean wedding is for strong-willed people. So you need to be able to put your foot down and say, no, I'm only having 30 people at my wedding, and that's it.
All right, thank you so much, Stephanie ODILI, for coming on Breakfast Central.
Well, Stephanie, one thing's for sure. I'm grabbing a copy of your book, Stephanie. I'm taking notes, like seriously. I think I like the idea of a lean wedding based on guest list.
Olisa Yanibo, I mean, this is where it's coming out.
And the book is available on Seller.
Okay.
So you can find that out from my page at Stephanie C. ODILI on Instagram and on Facebook/LinkedIn.
All right. Thank you very much, Stephanie ODILI, author of the book Lean Wedding. And it's a weekend, so perhaps something. Today is Friday. We're getting set for the weekend, and it's O and bed time. Thank you very much, Steph. Bye-bye.